Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a second series of the day. It's time for Effect versus Vega Squadron here in the quarterfinals of the MDL CIS Qualifiers. My name is Dragon Job. I'm still joined by Mr. V and these two teams. Oh, Effect's probably just struggling a little bit more than Vega, but they're also just battling with Empire and Navi for this this top slot, this CIS medal or whatever you want to call it.
Award.
The award, the most prestigious place is the CIS team, but they're not quite there yet. I know Kips is trying to beat them into shape, and it's starting to take hold, but they still have some ways to go, and they need to take every opportunity they have to prove themselves and continue to qualify for tournaments.
Yeah, for sure. I think Vega, when they approach the drafting phase, they like to be aggressive, and what Kips has done with the team, I think, is enabled them to have some flexibility with their drafts as well, in terms of having those flex picks kind of in that second phase, but still having the strength of committing to a draft early on. So I'm really excited to see what they pull out here.
Now some fairly standard bans here, no Night Stalker, no Bane, no Beastmaster. Brewmaster also taken out, so it's the Rubik instead. Rubik first pick. This is what we come to.
You know,
707.
You know, the solution here for Vega Squad is to pick heroes without abilities, so Rubik can't steal any of them. Clearly.
Sure, yeah, just pick Wraith King 5 times, right?
No, but then he gets a stun. That's a bad example.
No, we don't skill the stun.
Ah.
Come on, keep up, man.
Wow, and Luna just with glaives in her passive. That could work.
Yep.
Wyvern pick coming out here again. We have seen Wyvern in the off lane, so that's kind of a little bit of what has been going on behind the scenes with Vega Squadron's drafting process. I think Wyvern's just kind of a strong pick right now, and it leaves the draft open and also adds a lot to your push. If you can keep a creep alive or a hero alive with that Cold Embrace while you siege a tower, I think that adds a lot, because of the way that high ground has been reapproached by Ice Frog this patch is that he wants to make it easier for teams to go high ground by removing those shrines in base. However, it's still difficult to get past those first few tier 1 towers due to the refreshing glyphs. So I think having Wyvern kind of opens up your possibilities there for getting down those towers earlier on.
So I'm just looking at chat, and then one guy says, "Hey, when's the match?" I say 2 minutes. Then the next guy says, "Oh, did Navi win?" Yes.
When's
and then the very next two messages, "When's the game starting? Did Navi win?" I realize people are just coming in, but it's a little bit funny how it works out when the same two questions are repeated time and time again from our perspective. But yeah, I should probably just not look at chat going forward. X7, Ancient Apparition. So it's also kind of funny here with the AA and the Winter Wyvern, because Cold Embrace is an ice enclosure that heals, but if you have that Ancient Apparition Frostblast on you, it's also an ice spell that prevents healing. So thanks. It makes a lot of sense, Ice Frog. Thank you.
Counter ice with ice. Yeah. I think with the next pickup early on, that Vega's actually going to be looking to push early on with their remaining heroes and then open up the map for the next ganks. We have seen heroes like Lifestealer kind of come into popularity with the Nyx with the Infest Bomb, but I think it's a little bit too early to really predict something of that magnitude at this phase.
It could be a possibility still, right? As I said, you saw it just in the second game, I believe. Didn't quite work out in the end for Navi because they lost that game, but the gangsters themselves are quite effective.
I think the Razor ban kind of leads me to think that Vega wants to pick melee core, and with Omni Knight ban, Guardian Angel, and Repel notoriously good versus heroes like Lifestealer. I'm leaning towards kind of like a Lifestealer Ursa type pick for Vega right now. Meanwhile, on Effect, they've got some time to think about how they want to approach this last bit, already knowing Wyvern and Nyx are in the pool.
Doesn't really tell you all that much, though, does it? In Wyvern, very popular support these days, I feel like. Assassin also, yeah. Sure, you know exactly what he's doing, what position he's in, but there's plenty of combos with him. He doesn't necessarily require the lifestealer to be effective, so it doesn't really necessarily tell you anything about what else Vega has planned.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at effects lineup right now, like Rubik and AA, pretty squishy if you can get on top of them. Not the greatest control. So if you can get something like Storm Spirit, Quad's been banned, but other mobile heroes, like, then getting on top of those two sports can be really important. And that's what the Puck's going to probably be looking to do. Get on that Rubik, silence Rubik, and blow him up right at the start of the fight, so there's no opportunity for that counterplay.
Yeah. There's also another potential lifestealer carrier, so that particular strat gets a little bit better. They could even go back for something like a Magnus to buff that up even more out of the offlane. There's definitely room for that in the draft. So that would make it a fairly standard, well-rounded lineup for Vega Squadron.
And fairly good versus the strength gain Centaur here. So
and as well.
Clearly, we're one set ahead of these teams.
Not sure about the Centaur here, because like Winter Wyvern, Puck, Nyx Assassin, all those have plenty of control factors to throw out. Make that Centaur ulti, the Stampede, less effective as an escape tool. Like, you get caught by the coil, Stampede doesn't really help you all that much. You're still gonna get stunned. Right? You can also just get caught by the Winter's Curse, right? So yeah, there's that lifestealer.
You know what?
Talking about?
I would say I'm a god, then I'd be being humble. Like,
wow.
That was like first phase where we're like, okay, this is where I know this team too well. I shouldn't be talking about Vega. I've got too much insider knowledge. Can't be. Yeah. Anyways, let's focus on effect here. You see the lifestealer. You have the Centaur. How are you going to respond? Anti-mage. Interesting. It's okay. There are a few opportunities for counterplay. The first being Nyx with that Carapace with the cleave damage of Battle Fury.
Yeah.
Then set up the stun. So if you can imagine, lifestealer infests Nyx. Nyx walks up, Vendetta, lifestealer or anti-mage goes farm. Carapace, anti-mage stuns, lifestealer pops out. Follow up with Impale. Maybe you can get that kill, but that'd be a hard kill to get without follow up like silence from Puck.
I don't know. It kind of depends on how strong the lifesteal is at that point. Like, if you go for the classic build with the armor, desolator, face boots, you can do a crazy amount of damage actually in very short duration. And anti-mage, he's not exactly the tankiest hero. Really builds into these items that give some extra stats.
Yeah. I think now if you're looking at things from Vega Squadron's perspective, you have this anti-mage that you have some catch for, but Puck isn't exactly the best hunter of the anti-mage. You do have Nyx, but what about pressuring during the laning phase? Do you want to throw something in the off lane that's really aggressive, like a Legion Commander that also has catch potential for the anti-mage? So Vega will have to think a little bit more on what they want to do. You said the Magnus. I really like that as well.
Yep.
It's pretty good counterplay, but you do have to be careful about that Rubik as well.
Yeah. The other one would be perhaps Tidehunter. Similar idea to the Magnus, except you don't get that empower buff of the lifestealer, but one of these heroes that can do quite well against the anti-mage in lane. Just with the Kraken Shell, right? You're gonna lose all your mana, but after that point, anti-mage does not deal any damage to you anymore.
5 seconds remaining.
For mids here, on the side of effect, I wouldn't mind seeing more control. You have Rubik Centaur at this point. Maybe something like DK, but I feel like that's not ideal at the same time. Maybe Invoker. Invoker wouldn't be terrible.
That could work, yeah.
You could also, I guess Vega Squadron's probably running this Puck mid, but they could also throw it in the offlane if they really wanted to. But I think Puck versus Rubik AA anti-mage is suicide. So yeah,
it's the Viper. All right.
There's a little bit of control with the slow and with the break. With you can stop a lot of the kind of passive gains coming out from Lifestealer.
That does strike as well against like,
Mhm.
BKB or Rage Heroes. Like,
10
will kite them around a little bit
remaining.
better. But it's
And
only going
also
to matter if Vega Squadron are not the
Mhm.
ones who are
5
initiating.
seconds remaining.
It's also a secondary way to siege towers beyond Centaur, letting the tower attack him. Centaur and return on towers is like,
Hilarious.
I had the meme strat idea that you pick Centaur, Wyvern, and Omni Knight together and just sit Centaur in front of towers and throw Repel and Cold Embrace on him and let the tower attack him. But yeah, Vega here. Viper is pretty resistant to that magical damage, so you may actually be looking for a little more physical damage and look to put it in the off lane. So again, I think Legion seems like a good option here.
Yep.
Fairly mobile, and you can purge off Cold Feet in that off lane position as well. Just kind of concerned about getting your mana burned, but you can just build up Soul Ring. So, oh,
Okay.
throwing puck the wolves, I guess.
Huh.
I guess
Gee,
G is
look at
like, don't give me puck.
I don't really think that's it. I think they're just valuing the mid matchup a little bit more highly because G on the OD with the Viper changes, I think he's still favored on that hero, right?
I don't want to throw in my biases, G versus FNJ. But I think OD does fairly well versus Viper in the mid lane, especially when you have like Slayer, or I think you gave me the correct pronunciation of the Wyvern, the CIS.
CIS, yeah.
Yeah.
These special C's. That's not actually sounds like a C.
Not like a kayak.
Yep, exactly.
All right,
So
here we
different.
go.
Alright, there we are. Game number 1 of this best of 3. The winner will face up against Na'Vi, so it's a nice little prize. Right inside, we've got Team Effects and Vega Squadron already smoked up, making their way down towards the bottom lane here to secure these 2 bounty runes. Pretty standard stuff. No things happening on the other side, except they still holding on to their smoke. That would allow Effect to go a little bit deeper into the jungle, see if they can find something, but of course we know what they don't. They will not find anything here because Vega's on the other side of the map. In fact, they might still be able to get the wraparounds onto Nico Baby or force out a blink first. He sees them coming now though. Pretty decent position. Nothing of the sort will happen.
I feel like this is very characteristic of almost like every single pro match we've seen. Someone smokes in, and the carry all by him sees it happen, and then runs away.
Good, interesting though here. What Effect's doing? Marden and King are already hiding in the side, so if this is not an aggressive Charlie, then at the very least they're gonna start off with a kill attempt here to whoever Vega Squadron brings up here. The video wants to hold on to the TP scroll, so he's already making his way there on foot. There. Wonder if they can make a kill happen with that. That's the price factor essentially.
Yeah, it depends on whether or not they see him skill feast. They'll probably wait in the sides until like click over the abilities to see if they have it or not. But they'll probably just wait that out. Aggro try, Nyx Wyvern, and Puck. Interesting.
Trying to do the same kind of thing, just hiding inside the trees. And catch out the anti-mage still. Does have to blink work with, but he's already also skilled the mana break. So both teams with similar ideas. Good baby gets gone on, but top lane, yeah, they see the feast now. Need to wait for him to get a little bit closer, and there it is. King R eats his way through trees, lift into stomp, into chilling touch, right clicks. Should be first blood here by all rights, and it will not be the self! Makes him stay alive with like 9 health points.
Yeah, the lowest I saw was 6.
He'll force the TP back and then walk back to lane, so You're only missing out on first blood gold. You're not really... You're doing even more damage to him in terms of his ability to farm, but at very least Slayer's here to be able to take over and at least not let that experience go to waste.
Mid lane, OD. Could be in some trouble.
Next attempt. 10 seconds on Chilling Touch. Probably want to wait for that. But yeah, if G walks forward into the river, actually they're not waiting for that. They still get the lift off into an extra bit of slow from Alpha Ninja. The Chilling Touch used until just now, and he dodges the attacks. With the imprisonment, buying some extra time from Zayat. He does have the Cold Embrace, and that'll be enough to keep G safe and in lane even.
Wow, great counterplays, both from Slayer and then second from Zayat.
Alright, so early movements, not as successful as Effect hoped. The very least they're starting off on a right foot when it comes to CS. Or even up top. 11 and 6 up against this Lifestealer. It's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah. M gets the stun here.
You can trade it. You want mid, a bit of a wraparound. Perhaps G can easily set the stun up with the imprisonment. They are walking in. They have enough damage here. Viper, only 1 point on Maguro's skin so far. They're going for some body blocks, extra right clicks. Making his way through the trees. Fairy Fire, and that'll be enough. Zayas and they'll lift it back into tower range. So you'll be the first blood after all. Could not Cold Embrace to save him. We got a little bit too late. So Alpha Ninja grabbing that for himself.
Good patience from Viper to pop that Fairy Fire late and kind of bait them in a little bit longer.
Yep.
Then he gets to use the salve, and now he's full HP and able to test in front of the CS.
Mid lane with that kill going quite well. Top lane continuing to do extremely well actually. Is this supposed to happen here to a Lifestealer?
So he lost like probably close to 2 or 3 waves for having to TP back, and that just means that he is like, at advantage movement speed wise that Sudoi can just now exploit.
Level ahead, boots ahead.
Mm-hmm.
On bottom, Anti-Mage also still doing quite well. Puck doing the last of some nice things, and now with Slay and Zayats here, forcing out a blink. So that's the one lane that's
Passable?
It's passable, yeah. It's I don't want to say Vega's winning it because he's spending 2 heroes time here to just not even completely destroy the Anti-Mage in terms of farm. Like Nico Baby's feeling confident enough to walk in and go for these kind of hits.
He's out farming the Puck as well.
Yeah, it's not as bad as the other lanes. Now lift up on the Lifestealer. That's not range available, but can he get it off? No, he can't. Lift into Stomp. Plenty of control with 3 points up and a double edge. He just burst him down.
Yeah. I would say that affect our stomp these lanes, but that seems like it's very evident that they are. These lanes are not going well for Vega. They need to think about how they're rotating their supports right now and how they're going to maybe try to open up the map. Because, you know, Sudoi, Wyvern is a pretty good counter to it as they go on mid.
Lift G in here, gets imprisonment onto the Rubik Alpha Ninja, trying to stay alive here with the corrosive skin as well as the raindrops. They get the counter kill here actually towards Alpha Ninja. And enough damage over time on him, and they also zap down Slayer in the back. So they get that kill, but what cost? G is also super low in health.
Yeah.
Luckily he has like, a couple of extra tangos to work with, but
and here's King R thinking, hey, I'm gonna have my arcane boots by like 5 minutes.
Oh wow, yeah, he has so much gold.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
He may have taken a few kills here and there with the Fade Bolt.
0-2. Good.
There's also a lot of Rubiks that are now picking up the Snull field earlier on. As we have a Rage top, this may open up potential for kill. Pick up the lift.
Lift, stomp, double edge, right clicks. Even a salve used in vain.
No, that wasn't his self because his image was full, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
It could have been though. Actually, yeah, it was
Yeah,
his.
he must have picked something up
He just
on
moved it over.
I don't know why Center would pick it. Would use a salve in that situation, even if he had it. I did hear the sound.
I've been like hearing sounds like across the map though sometimes in my games, so
Okay.
I was thinking like, oh, maybe it was somewhere else.
Regardless, Ryu is not having the best time up top. He's at the very least kind of starting to go even in terms of last hits, but he keeps dying here. This time he dodges a stomp. That rage, so we'll be alright. Once he gets to level 6, yeah, that secondary is safety available. Meanwhile, Ultimate down bottom trying to get the Ancient Apparition away out of there, but doesn't end up falling to this combination. Double damage on Slayer as well, helping out.
Yeah, and these phase boots on Afterlight really hurt AM. AM is not someone that likes to go up against a puck with phase, especially without the PMS being in the game now. So, just gonna go back to the jungle here. He's like, I don't wanna try to CS for that puck, especially with level 6 coming around the corner.
And finish up the Perseverance, but at this point you ideally want to start saving up for the Demon Edge. Don't necessarily need it mana regen as much as health regen this early on if you're economical with your blink.
Yeah, it depends on like how much blinking you intend on doing and
Yep.
other things as well. Like if you're going to be TPing to other lanes to farm, then having the Void Stone earlier on it's okay. I think you also still get an additional 10 damage from combining the Ring of Health with the Void Stone.
I don't think so. Perseverance?
Yeah.
No, you get HP regen, mana regen. 5.5 and 1.5.
Let's
I think
see.
they changed that. It took away some random extra damages from items in
Yeah.
the recent patches.
Oh, we have the Viper Strike in the mid lane.
Just
Gee,
meant
with
to
the
delay that
Ashwell,
damage
though.
a little bit.
Is under
Player should be fine. Trying to do the Spike Caramel's play, but maxing it out as well. Too early points into it here, fucking away that mana burn entirely.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes sense in this
King
game.
Art.
I mean, sometimes you see the other way around. Excessive just spamming that mana burn on people instead. The Viper not really susceptible to that at all.
Yeah. I was thinking about whether or not Soroy would go for the hood here. As Rubik steals up the rage. This is level 4 rage too, so Rubik just like essentially just got a BKB.
Good. 6 seconds.
Very good.
Extra attack speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that attack speed on Rubik going to be super value, especially when he gets that level 10 talent.
Yep. These plus attack level 10s on some of these supports. I believe they took it away from Crystal Maiden or something, which I'm very... Oh god, what?
Good lane.
Okay, it was just a straight up solo kill after Ninja running him down. Maxed out poison tag at this point. Done that indiscriminately. Nico Baby is still forced to jungle it up. Did complete that Perseverance
Dire's middle
or Demon
tower
Edge, but
is
he's
under
still going towards where he needs to be. Still less net worth than life stealer though, so maybe not the ideal situation.
Yeah. Afterlife has decided to go for a drums build over going blink, so building up on those stats, which I think is an interesting choice to say the least.
Yep. Don't often see that on a puck, but the face drums is a bit of a classic, like early game value build.
Yeah.
Do you
It gets
remember
paid
when
out.
back when that gave like 9 stats for everything?
Yeah, it was unhealthily broken.
Yeah.
Rubik rages. And gets the Waning Rift. I'm not sure if you want the silence over the rage, but it's a better nuke.
Yeah.
For Rubik.
Also maxed out, so yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe find yourself an industry and you can beat off with the silence, prevent an astral imprisonment or something. But look at this, Vega winning heavily here for mid with that first vendetta. Looking for Alpha Ninja. He and call comes out, full up stun. King R is there to try and turn this around with a lift into a stun. Centaur with the ultimate here, walking forward, trying to find a stomp here. Uses it on G. The last right click from him, not enough to finish off Alpha Ninja, and that is the nuke, actually the one that puts him over the edge. Great turnaround plays, this time on the side of effects, and well, it's the all PS there. Observer Wood. It's It in his lane.
King R's got to be happy about that steal. If he had held on to the rage there,
Radiant's
it wouldn't have really made a big difference that fight. But now he's got Illusory Orb, which is really nice to have. He can spam out ways, he's more mobile. Let's see.
If that hit, maybe he goes for that.
Yeah.
With Slayer kill, but with a TP in from G. Then again, Alpha Ninja also back in the fray. But yeah, that impact is even better than the orb, even. That extra stun to work with. 4 seconds on top of the telekinesis, yeah.
Yeah.
Extra
really
Fateful, that's your nuke already, 320 damage. This Rubik is very strong right now.
Yeah, especially if he swaps his null field to be aggressive. Additional 10% on all that.
Yep. Now Anti-Mage looks like, yeah. They have that Observer Ward themselves, I believe they scouted out this rotation here from Vega. Go Baby should be absolutely fine. That's crucial too, he's 300 gold away from the Demon Edge.
Yeah. This also means that Lifestealer is getting more space though.
Ayats. Doing that, there's the orb, there's the silence, couple of nukes coming through, it cannot blink out just yet. Meanwhile in the back, King R. He's super low himself, just walking into Slayer. Ice Blast's coming through as well. Say, hey, we know that you're here. Just shoosh. Get out of there. Anti-Mage survives though, and that's the most important part.
They may go for the kill on Lifestealer Hill as he clears out the creep wave.
Rage still infests, so needs some sort of instant initiation, but you don't really have that without the Blink and Centaur. Even then, pass point on those Hoofstorm is... Oh, there it is. King R coming back. That's what they were waiting for. Final true combo.
Giving Anti-Mage the space he needs to get this Battle Fury up. No boots too. I'm always so like, no boots. But at the same time, like he was versus a puck with phase boots. Like he's not going to outrun a phase boots puck. So why invest in boots at all?
Exactly. As it stands, he's got himself a pretty good, well-timed Battle Fury. 14 minutes in, so that'll help him go quickly into these treads and whatever other items he wants to pick up.
Do you think he'll die to Nyx within 2 minutes? Getting his Battle Fury?
I think he'll be fine. Been doing a good job so far, just reading the map and trying to dodge out these Nyx assassin gangs for the most part.
Even sacks for himself. Nice.
And low on health though, so if he's not careful, be able to blink out in time. Yeah, there it is. No assassinate. No Vendetta anyway on the Nyx assassin. Alright, so meanwhile, first lifesteal gank here. They're gonna go on Mad and they do find him. Let's get the ultimate off on the pack. We're not lifestealer.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Really doing too much
Rubik is here to save the day, keep those creeps off the tower. Again.
The damage reduction as well. They can't even deal damage to the tower. Top lane. Okay.
Mr. V is correct. He dies within 2 minutes by the Nyx gank.
And Afterlife has something to do with that as well. I would imagine with the coil.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, now with the Blink Dagger, I mean, talking about item timings, it's pretty damn strong as well. Middle, King R gets out with the Rage and Stampede down bottom. I'm just trying to put on some pressure of their own, but Leia, Jay, Zayats committing heavily here to keep this tier 1 bottom alive, and Harden, alright, throws out that ultimate, cannot actually get the trigger off with the stun from Slayer. And now, this curse on a creep. I don't think Zadori took damage from that, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think the Viper was attacking in.
Well,
Madden's probably going to go down
1, 2, 3, so dead. Can't even make it to the Shrine. King R with the lift to ensure the Cold Feet will proc. And Rage is still there, pops it, gets a stun after. Overall though, good series of events here for Vega. Stabilizing that lane and kind of making up for this laning stage as well.
Yeah, Sodoi missed his stomp there, which was pretty key on them not getting the kill on OD. But King R is actually getting really close to Blink Dagger, so that's going to be a problem coming up for Vega.
What do we have it for the Centaur? Viper just finished up the 4 staff as well. Top of the treads, so Not too far behind. Vega continuing to keep up the pressure. Afterlife, he wants to milk that Blink Dagger for all it's worth. Going to try and nuke down Nico Baby a little bit. No big commitment. Just enough here to make him back off the lane for a little bit, and maybe he's setting up for Slayer. Nico Baby shows himself now. Yeah, there it is. The stun, the right clicks, and the call just to make sure. These kind of kills are going to be so important to buy themselves more time. Slow down this anti-mage. He's not really caught up.
Yeah, usually when you get that Battle Fury at your 14-minute mark, you're thinking, oh, okay, I've got some time to farm off the map. But again, with this tier 1 tower down the off lane, anti-mage probably shouldn't have to be farming here. She should probably try to get some more vision up within their own jungle. As you can see, the Radiant have gotten up these defensive wards by Roshan and kind of up by the tower to enable anti-mage to farm there, but it's just not working as they smoke up here on effect, looking for the life stealer. Will they be able to get it?
Blink lift, it's the Blink Stomp. King showing that off, and with the Ice Blast, make sure they get the kill. That's as easy as it gets. Now TP in mid, they will be able to secure this tower for the time being as well. So this is a bit of a back and forth, trying their best to buy more space for Afternoon Jade to continue farming down bottom, as well as the anti-mage doing his thing, continuing to stick around just top part of the map. But meanwhile down bottom, Leia, he's in this Afterlife, smoked up with him. They're looking to try and burst somebody down here. King on the side though. Okay, that's a defensive blink. The Centaur Stampede though. Sun's coming through, but the Blink Stomp here, plus the extra zap from Rubik to bring down the Winter Wyvern first. Winter's Curse, no Cold Embrace. Coil not doing too much here. Vega, the rest of them are still pretty damn healthy. They get the imprisonment up on the Viper. I'm not sure if you want to go on him. He's full health, full mana. They do decide to make that commitment though. Another Blink, another Stomp. Will stun himself on the Spike Carapace though. And with the Real You also coming in, together with Afterlife ready to right click away. Gonna secure these 2 kills. Though trying to help out Rafa Ninja, but throwing his own life away. Big commitment down bottom though at the very least, so pressure was put on top by Anti-Mage, and he's got the treads up and running now. This has got to be the name of the game. Gets Anti-Mage the way he wants to be. Everything else is kind of secondary at this point.
Yeah. The question is whether AM can get off the ground fast enough that he's a threat on the map. Puck is huge. Puck has got like 2k net worth on this anti-mage, which is really scary considering AM really wants to be killing heroes like Puck, these int-based heroes who have a lot of mana that he can burn, but he's not anywhere close to a Manta style yet.
Don't have that Manta style, you're vulnerable to the Blink Silence. You cannot blink out of that one. And then the Puck, especially if he has lifesteal inside of him, makes for some easy kills towards his AM at this point. Player has the same kind of idea, just in the scouting, trying to find him. Trying to find an angle for that to make that work.
Yeah. A little bit too much time wasted for the life stealer. He can't like just sit in pot looking for kills. He needs to keep farming.
That's always the flip side. Gonna make that determination. Alright. How much time can I actually spend in here?
Look how scared Nico Baby was playing there. He was just sitting in the trees, hiding behind the Centaur essentially.
You don't see Puck, you don't see an assassin. You gotta be scared at this point, right?
Yeah, I think they had seen the Puck mid, but now they know. Oh, as they go on Centaur bottom, I believe.
Let's get Stampede up before Silence snaps. Doesn't actually snap the call, he wants to try and fight, but they're kiting around the stomp. Not connecting here. The Ice Blast does. Oh, the facial zone from King R now into Spike Carapace. Pops it now in the last second. Afterlife still coming in with the last right click. Not affected by that earlier. So again, 2 heroes going down. They're buying space, but it's costing them dearly. Because all that money is just going into G's, going into Afterlife.
You talked about how the Puck was a pretty good counter to the Centaur. And I have to agree with you. We just saw it right there. He wants to stampede away, but what's he going to do? Break the coil? He's stunned. That's the duration of his ulti.
Still level 1 coil, so what? 1.5 seconds, the end of the world? That instance would have been probably enough to secure the kill regardless, so they tried to make a play. But yeah. Vega, right now they're running all over effect. Even from center here to the shrine has to blink out.
Radiant's
Back
bottom
to the
tower
high ground.
is under
Anti-mage
attack.
though, he took the tier 1 tower top. Now has a catapult
Dire's
wave.
top tower is
Brought
under
all the way
attack.
to the tier 2 tower. That should force Vega back, at least that's the thinking. It's only Afterlife making his way across. They can run on top of each other as it turns out.
Ring around the rosy.
Pretty much. Anti-mage? Only Paki couldn't maybe fight this a little bit.
Dire's top tower
He doesn't
is
know where
under
Nyx
attack.
is though.
Yeah, let's go. No vision of anyone else on the side of Vega. Right, and straight down bottom. He's there. Not sure if he can really do a whole lot, but look at this movement. Expecting them to rotate on this anti-mage, they want to intercept. Still have this very effective combo here between King Arns and Oi. They catch anyone with the
Player.
lift, they're gonna have that oh. Ooh, finds out for NJ though, he's all alone. And Stampede comes through, they're gonna go on G at the same time, so 1-for-1 trade.
Mids for mids.
Yeah.
What's that favor?
Rolls.
Effect by a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as anti-mage is farming.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Alright. Any even trade is good for Nico, baby. Unless he's the one being traded away, then it's a little bit different.
Dire's bottom
Into
tower is
Roshan,
under
they've got the DD on the life stealer.
You have. He also has a Deathlighter to work with. Still gonna take them a while, because it's not the best lineup to bring down this Roche. No medallion or anything, but doesn't look like effects know that this is happening. Eventually it will be first. I have to say that the Ice Blast
Hey,
went through.
Blasty.
Doesn't quite graze Nyx Assassin. So well timed, they will have the Sentry Ward up there.
Oh,
Dire's
Rubik!
bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, King Ars going in. Raiden actually gets gets the last one in row. The Age is still being snagged up by G. Afterlife dropping so low. The last bit of damage over time from Math and NJ secures the double kill. What the hell? How did that happen?
Rubik with the place, he had the stolen impale.
King R. Loyalty
He's
indeed.
trying to carry his team so hard right now. He's like, come on, guys. He takes the
Well,
Roshan kill.
Lifesteal and Puck down. You still don't have the Aegis, but, well, gonna claim it immediately. The Winter Curse on a tanky target. The Doi taking a bit of damage, but not nearly enough. And now the lift into more control, more stun. Slayer with his Pearl Strike, with this Impale, whatever it's called, enables that, enables that Astral Imprisonment to go out by Carapace and everybody. So they actually lose Sedoi and another Imprisonment. He's still alive.
comes
Alpha Ninja, he's super low though. He can't even. Oh, they barely gets enough to force stuff down. Now, Blinks after him here from G and Slayer, so they get that kill too. Overcommitment here on the second life. Vega Squadron. Scrambling to save G. Between himself and Slayer. They actually make it work.
Man, that Ascendi's Eclipse, he just dropped the hammer on them. He had a few ints stacked up at that point, but it wasn't a whole lot. So unfortunately, he didn't get to burst the Viper down himself. Just initially there.
Right. Vega seems to be back in control. So Shan, bit of a disaster the way it went down, but now it's like it's almost like it never happened if you look at the graphs. Very close to the zero line here in terms of both gold and experience though. And with all this happening, NTMH finally claimed the top net row slot. Go, baby,
He's just
doing
been sitting in these trees for the last like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Doing nothing but doing the safe split push. Oh. Value sentry right there. Invisible even on the pucks, so they know about that too.
With the Spanish style, he feels a little bit more comfortable, but it's really hard without vision of the puck. As puck may scout him out here, they got the sheep.
Indeed, oh my god, the coil as well. A really early sheep stick too.
Is under attack.
This puck is
Also
so
effective.
fat. They're hunting. God.
Across the stun from
Radiant's
King
middle
R.
tower is under
A little bit
attack.
too early here to intercept them there. And not as fast as the lifesteal ultimate. Yeah, there it is. Blink hacks slowed down here with the open wounds. King R is dead. just chasing them across half the map here and being successful with it. And this cannot be a good sign for Effect.
Yeah, if you're like afraid to fight into that as only like part of their team pushes across the map, that tells you something about your heroes and where they're at with the game. It also, to be fair, like anti-mage is dead at this point, so they really don't want to fight, but at the same time, back up your teammates, man. That Rubik has been carrying you. Like,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh. The tier 2 now, more than likely, the real you feels very comfortable just walking away at that. Pops a rage, but there's also a glyph. The Ice Wolf will actually land as he goes up top, infests into Afterlife. Dex comes through, After Ninja on the side. Jaunting across to the orb. Nico Baby wants some revenge here. But time to burn some mana to call in everybody. Does he get another blink out? He can indeed. Stampede. But at this point, high level coins means higher level stuns. Immediately counted out.
I don't know why they didn't break the coil while the puck was phase shift.
Yeah.
Like at least on the anti-mage. Because I think they just were slightly out of range. Puck can always just blink out of the phase shift though.
Oh.
Radiant's bottom tower
And still
is
see
under
lifesteal inside of him. Trying to get W's out of that. Was a bit of an escape, but he also wants to make a gank out of it.
Dire's middle tower is under
But
attack.
he finally decides to just jump out into farming.
One of the concerns for Effect is also that Nico Baby's having to go for this BKB next. He doesn't feel safe with the Manta style. He feels like he has to go back for this BKB before he can really fight, which is really going to slow down his split push.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I'm gonna leave the anti-match item that you want. And for me, it's getting also closer to his level 20, so the uncontrollable illusion might make things a little bit easier for him. Just leaving those everywhere, being a bit of a nuisance. But if you're playing from behind like this, probably less effective than it otherwise would be.
Yeah.
Nico Baby.
As they scout him out here though.
Yeah, blinking into the middle lane. Versus team fairly close by, but are they close enough? Doesn't really seem like it. The banishment needs some more damage now. That gives them also time to walk in. Nico Baby with that Winter's Curse. That should be enough, even with Just King are hitting it. They do trade for Slayer, but now Sadoi doing so low himself. Rubik with Bicarabus reflecting quite a bit of damage there onto the puck, but end of the day, Vega Squadron lose 1 and Effect lose 3. This, I punch those numbers into my calculator, doesn't make a happy face for the Radiant side.
No, I do not believe so. I believe Effect are not very happy at how this anti-mage is really kind of turning out for them. He's getting picked off a little bit too much, and he's the one that has the pressure on him to try to like split the map, but from the side of Vega, they're just able to punish this so well with the puck, because this puck just got a free lane, and with a Hex, like, how are you expected to split push against that as an anti-mage? Like,
Yep.
he's getting a BKB, but he also needs something like a Perseverance as they go on to...
Ancient Apparition, hexed up, big old pigs, so there's some more pork on the menu.
But it's virtual pork, so don't worry if your religious inclinations tell you that you can't eat pigs. It's okay in virtual reality, right?
I'm sure. Not sure if the religious legislation has kept up with the Middle Age, though.
Mm-hmm. This is taking a turn. You know, Vega's really hesitant to push high ground, and I think it's a little bit of a fair place for them to be. Like, they've really good pickoff potential, so they almost just want Effect to keep coming out of their base so they can look for these pickoffs with the puck and the life sealer. But really, right now, like, why not wait for the Lincolns on your life sealer before you go high ground? Why not wait for the next Aegis?
Yeah.
And not feed it away to a Rubik with Impale?
Well, meantime, we can still try and work away at this tier 2 tower. In fact, unlikely to try and defend that as it's super low already. Doesn't really give them too much anyway. Half Ninja is showing his face here though. Russ's team slowly moving there, except Anti-Mage once again. Nico Baby just trying to find the time that he needs to get that next big item, which is the BKB. He almost has it. One last creep camp. A little bit of extra tick cold. We'll secure that for him.
Yeah, I think
So,
he needs.
yeah, what's the fighting potentially for effect? What's the dream team fight look like with that BKB now?
I think with this BKB, what you want to do is you want to start a fight without Puck in it. Maybe you get on OD before he gets his BKB off. Maybe leading with that Centaur Swamp, and then AM's just able to get in the back lines, hopefully go on Wyvern and get a really big Mana Void off. And meanwhile, Viper just kind of takes things in the front with his BKB.
Yeah. See what what's happening here. They've got an Observer Ward scouting out King R. They also saw Sadoi. Hard on the outside, and they're the ones to initiate force stuff here onto Rubik. And he's still gonna fall. That Winter's Curse here on a BKB up Viper.
Oh,
something's
Puck's
around. They
down.
do get the Puck actually here with the Mana Void. They find him in the middle there, and well, Lifestealer also caught a bit of a tough spot here without that Puck. Was infested. So that was pretty solid actually. Not sure what that Winter's Curse actually hit on.
I think it was on the Rubik.
Rubik was over to the left, and like in this nook. Got forced out there by somebody, and Winter's Curse was over here. Might have been on the illusion even. Because no one really took too
Slayer?
much damage, but
Making
now,
up-
well, there it is, making the big plays. But Nico Baby is angry. Wants to try and get the return kill here with the extra bit of damage from the Viper and Madden. They will get that. Now looking for more Zayat. Slowed down by Afro Ninja's ultimate G. Comes through here. Drops the big old hammer. Nico Baby will fall before Sadoi can get the stump off. Now the extra heals. It'll make it hard for them to continue this fight, especially with the Puck buyback. At this point, they're in too deep here to disengage on the side effect. The call coming through. Well, Rob's across here to finish off Madden. Though and Afro Ninja still playing. Trying to get themselves out now, but Afterlife, he got a freaking Shadow Blade. What is this Puck build? Gonna run into Sentry though.
Sure, but he's
Lift
spotted
it up
now.
into the air. Go. What do you steal? The orb. Alright. That's Jaunt icon was actually shown on the right. Bit confused.
Puck bought back though, so that's going to impede his item progression as they rotate into Roshan for Vega. I don't think they're too concerned, but that fight definitely went a lot worse than what they would have wanted it to go.
Yeah. But at least they somehow keep G alive. That Astral Imprisonment proving to be quite the issue if he's self-casted, just buying in more time. Pulling in effect further and further so they can be counterplayed, but this Aegis are they gonna do it again here? Okay, the Hex comes out, but Aegis snatched this time by King R. Afterlife, he's on the run. Gets a John up, but the damage is too much. Alpha Ninja with that kill, all smoked up. They're also gonna lifesteal again in the middle of that. Gee, oh god, he was trying out, but now he gets stomped by Sadoi. Another Viper Strike, forced off to the high ground into the imprisonment though. Plenty of time for the full 5-man lineup for in fact to come in. It's actually blinking back down to the low ground. The uncontrollable illusion scouts him out, does some extra damage, can't even make it to the bounty rune, and this is now an absolute disaster for Vega Squadron. Unmitigated. This is no other way to say it. First Aegis, King R comes in, gets the last hit, but not the Aegis. This time he doesn't get the last hit, but he gets the Aegis, so hey.
And Nick's
Plays are real, and okay, he's so freaking dead. The Ice Blast connecting. He blocked the initial damage, but that's a gem on the deck as well. 4 heroes down. G has buyback, lifesteal back in 10 seconds. But there's no Winter's Curse. There might
we got the Sun
be
and
no
Wyvern.
Winter Wyvern. Yeah, the 4 stuff came out at the same time though. And the rest of the team, they want the objectives. Nico Baby is starting to spam illusions here with the Blink as well. And god, they catch him again with the lift. Cold Embrace, not even enough here. They have plenty of magical damage. And Vega Squadron, they had the game in their hands for the longest time. But just like that, you lose Aegis, you lose a crazy team fight, and you lose your top racks.
Really well played by this Rubik, leading his team into the charge, just fearless. I think he picked up the Aegis while he was hexed. I didn't think that was possible.
Is that a thing?
I saw the sheep on him from the puck, but I still think he got the Aegis. Here comes the puck though.
They sure showed that illusion.
Oh yeah, they got it.
Easy. What? How much gold is it at this point?
40.
Yeah. No, 42. I believe. Oh, wait.
Isn't 42
It's
the
2
answer
per
to
level.
everything, though?
It's 2 gold per level, so they're missing 4 gold, so it's 46 gold.
Hmm.
Right? Yeah. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm sure.
Anyways, Vega rotating bottom. I feel like they feel as though the pressure is on them to make a play here. Anti-Mage farming up. What's he got on the way? He's got Aghanims out. Look at how defensive this Anti-Mage's build is. He's got Manta, BKB, Aghanim Scepter. He's got Abyssal Queued next, but for all we know, he's going Perseverance next.
Well, Puck can hex himself now if he's not careful. But Afterlife.
Behind.
Walking in, he is in this with the Shadow Blade, blinks across, and okay, it sort of worked here. Afterlife? Yeah, he hexed himself! He hexed on the X! Alright, G trying to do some damage, stacking up some of that int, but now he's being slowed down by the Viper Strike.
slow.
Nico Baby doesn't have a basher though, but a Stomp here as the BKB ends, and not just him, but also Lifestealer, the big mana void! Nico Baby gets one, after the other, and now Vega Squadron and Dire Straits indeed. They lose the Winter Wyvern. G down on the sidelines for good. King he can die here, it doesn't matter, here's the freaking Aegis! That's all they get for this buyback from the real year as well?
Dire's middle
Effect is gonna win this game, I can feel it in my bones. Unless they just massively throw somehow.
Not undoable, but I think it highly unlikely at this point.
And you're missing G, Lifestealer can be carted around very easily. It's gonna be down to him and Afterlife and Slayer as well. Like, they need everything to connect perfectly right now. Double stun, alright.
Dire's middle
But no follow-up with damage, and now Nico Baby, built with the loot from King R, they're gonna snack that kill up as quickly as that. Another one without buyback. Cheese is eaten as well by somebody. Gonna get rid of the second set of racks. They can't go for Megas right now. They're still a tier 2 in the bottom lane, but they want more than that. They want to win the game right here, right now. The tier 4s, but there it is. The Infest gang kind of off the mark. You already have to scramble, but they can't. Effect is too fast. Now Afterlife
GG.
holds it first. GG, well played. Effect with a victory in game number 1.
middle tower has fallen.
Those were some quick disconnects there. They did not like how that game turned around on them from the side of Vega Squad. I feel like they had that game in the bag, but they just threw it at the Roche vision. I'm not sure whether it was patience or just a lack of committed. They need to commit to those Roshans, get everyone hitting it if they want to take it down in time. But Effect, you got to give it to them, making those big plays. Well done, King R. Carrying your team. You deserve that Aegis.
Absolutely. What a turnaround. I mean, look at the graphs. Yeah, we see it. I mean, when was that Aegis deal? Like, just before that big ass spike. Just at that big ass spike. Biggest squadron, they were 10k ahead. Then they lost that fight, and nothing but upwards here for Effect at that point. You don't often see these kind of graphs in Dota.
Yeah, you can actually see when Aegis is picked up on the player items tab at the end of the game. So you can see that Rubik got it exactly at 34 minutes and 6 seconds. So that was kind of that one fight where it just goes, oh, you want to win the game, Vega? No, we're going up.
34 minutes.
All the way up. Yeah.
38 minutes and 40 seconds is the final final time. So took them less than 5 minutes to straight up win the game after that. King R, absolute MVP here. But they're gonna have to do it again. This is the best of 3 after all. Vega Squadron. They have to collect themselves and try again in game number 2 coming up next. So don't go too far away.